Well, we now continue our weekly land report segment with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. President of the group, Tony Toso, joins us now from California with the latest. Tony, always a pleasure. So let's start with talking about the current economic climate impacting ag land values there in your state of California.
You bet. And Merry Christmas, Suzanne. Thanks for having me. When we're talking about ag land values in California, you know, we're so diverse in how we use our land. We've got over 450 different crops. It kind of helps give some buffer, but we're starting to see signs of a slowdown. When I'm talking about that, we're seeing reductions to listings, extended days on the market. So that's kind of, we're a brokerage and an appraisal firm. So, you know, when we're talking brokerage, that's not a good sign. Appraisal, we're kind of reading the market, interpreting the market. So that data is going to start to come in more and more. So just to give you a little bit of an example of where we're at, back in 2020, we sold 168 properties in San Joaquin, Stanislaus, and Merced counties, which is kind of right in the heart of California. We sold 168 of those properties for $657 million. 2021, we sold 233 properties for $1.8 billion. This year so far, we're at 77 properties for $300 million. So we're starting to see some impact from this economy, and that's not a good sign for us right now.
Absolutely. So clearly the economy, the inflation, input costs, everything really contributing to these impacts. Other things, though, in addition to this, that other than the obvious, right, that you're starting to see really take hold of these markets. Right.
Well, the thing right now is you mentioned interest rates, inflation. We had an example that I can tell you about from last week. We had a property on the market. Got an offer, or we're talking to some prospective buyers about an offer. When they sat down with their lender and started talking about interest rates, that deal fell through. So we're starting to see those types of things. It's not good. Inflation, when a buyer's looking at buying a farm property, ranch property, fuel costs, fertilizer, labor, those types of things are really having an impact on their buying decisions. Budgeting. I've been hearing people talking about budgets where we're looking at 20% increases on input costs over prior years. So that doesn't translate very well into people getting really excited about going out and buying land. I've talked with a couple of farm managers as well, as you're well aware. We not only have appraisers in our group, but farm managers as well. And there's not a lot of optimism out there, at least in the California neighborhood at this point. So lower commodity prices are also playing an important part in that. You know, the staples that we have out here, like almonds, walnuts, pistachio, they're also having a tough time getting prices and being able to generate break-evens right now. So it's been a tough go.
Yeah, there are a lot of factors, and we're out of time, and I did want to mention it's something that we'll be following it too, as far as land values, is overburdensome legislation when it comes to ag production. I'm sure that's also having a big impact. Tony, as always, a pleasure. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for contributing here to Market Day Report. Merry Christmas to you. Tony Toso with the American Society of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers. You want to be sure to tune in each Wednesday, 1:30 Eastern, for a weekly land report update.